South Korea is a vibrant democracy with a robust political system. It regularly holds free and fair elections. The South Korean people actively participate in the political process. However, in recent years, a concerning trend has emerged. South Korean politics have become increasingly polarized. This polarization manifests in various ways. There is a growing divide between the conservative and liberal camps. Political discourse has become more acrimonious. Compromise and consensus building have become more difficult. This polarization has real consequences. It can lead to legislative gridlock, making it difficult to address pressing issues. It can also erode trust in democratic institutions. Furthermore, polarization can create social division and unrest. The causes of this polarization are complex and multifaceted. They include economic inequality, social and cultural changes, and the legacy of South Korea's authoritarian past. Understanding these causes is crucial to finding ways to bridge the divide and strengthen South Korean democracy. Political polarization in South Korea is not a new phenomenon. It has deep roots in the country's tumultuous history. The division of the Korean peninsula after World War II created two states with fundamentally different ideologies. This division fueled the Korean War, a conflict that exacerbated existing tensions. In the aftermath of the war, South Korea experienced decades of authoritarian rule. This period saw the suppression of dissent and the stifling of political debate. The transition to a democracy in the late 1980s opened up the political space. However, it also allowed long-suppressed divisions to resurface. Regionalism, ideological differences, and historical grievances contributed to a fragmented political landscape. Over time, these divisions have deepened and become more entrenched. Political parties have become more ideologically homogeneous, and their positions have become more extreme. This has made it increasingly difficult to find common ground and compromise. South Korea has a history of military intervention in politics. Following the Korean War, the country was ruled by a series of military dictatorships. These regimes often used martial law to suppress dissent and maintain control. One of the most notable instances of martial law was the Gwangju uprising in 1980. Pro-democracy protests in the city of Gwangju were met with brutal force by the military government. This event remains a dark chapter in South Korean history and a reminder of the fragility of democracy. While South Korea is now a consolidated democracy, the legacy of martial law continues to cast a shadow. The memory of past repression serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of authoritarianism and the importance of protecting civil liberties. The experience of martial law also highlights the potential consequences of extreme political polarization. When political divisions become so deep that they threaten the stability of the state, there is a risk that some actors may see military intervention as a solution. The polarization of South Korean politics is a serious concern. It threatens to undermine the country's democratic institutions and social fabric. It is imperative that South Koreans address this issue before it leads to further division and instability. One way to address polarization is to promote dialogue and understanding across political divides. This can be done through civil society organizations, educational initiatives, and media literacy programs. Another important step is to reform the electoral system. South Korea's current electoral system, which is based on a winner-take-all approach, tends to exacerbate polarization. Adopting a more proportional system could help to create a more representative and less divisive political landscape. Finally, it is essential to address the root causes of polarization, such as economic inequality and social injustice. By creating a more just and equitable society, South Korea can reduce the grievances that fuel political extremism. The future of South Korean democracy depends on the ability of its citizens to bridge the political divide. By embracing dialogue, reforming institutions, and addressing underlying societal issues, South Korea can strengthen its democracy and ensure a more stable and prosperous future.